Welcome to the Wormhole Wonderland Thanksgiving Special. Salt, fat, hearth, and home. One cup cinnamon, 2 cups brown sugar, 3 cups of chopped, blackened habanero, 4 cups of turkey breast. Mix and coat the meat well. Add to a pot the blood of your hearth, the sap of your cabin, the magma beneath your feet, and 1 whole body of a phoenix. In all my time traveling the Wonderland, never before have I encountered a creation myth quite like the community that travels all around the infinite desert. The leader therein speaks of their world created from fire, flame, and the stew of the all-avian. The tale I speak today involves a being I theorize to be the first flame, the father of all phoenixes, and breather of fire. The story goes as follows. Long ago, in a land before time, full of gods and not much else, there lay Brilliance, a legendary chef so acclaimed by the other gods that he could forge flavor from nothing. That trick was nice, yes, but what he really required was physical ingredients. And in a land of no space nor time, ingredients are hard to come by. So he traveled to the god of gods, Luminos. Bowing before his lord, Brilliance asked if he could be allowed to obtain the flesh of another deity. Luminos laughed, surely a jest from this legend standing before it. It declared only what Brilliance knew already, that the slaying, and of course consumption, of another deity is strictly forbidden. Hanging his head in shame, Brilliance slowly slumped back to his home. His best friend, Spice, lord of all firebirds, strutted into his home and pecked at his arm. His voice prickled and cracked with the flames he represented. "What is the problem?" He spoke pointedly, as the lord of all fire should. "I wanted to make something truly delicious." "You can already conjure such things, Brilliance!" His plumage flared as the pride for his friend shone bright. "Though comforting, friend, I am limited by this place. There are no ingredients I can pluck from the other gods here. Not even root will allow me the pleasure of the flesh of her fruit." Spice's beak cracked and flickered into a grin. "Raise your head, friend. You can cook me." Brilliance's eyes widened as he peered at Spice. No, I couldn't. Luminos would still forbid it." "And what does Luminos know of flavor and flame? Nothing, I say. Cut from me, and you will have 3 pieces of the recipe in quadrature." Brilliance couldn't help but grin as he brandished his blade. Then he nodded, knowing what he would have to do. Of course, the 4 fundamental pieces of the universe were salt, fat, acid, and heat. Spice could provide Brilliance with salt, fat, and heat, but that last pesky piece would crown his masterpiece as the ultimate dish. Acid, of course, wouldn't only cut through the taste and burst the palate of those who consumed it, but it would catalyze it. It would bring everything under a single, unified world of flavor. So then Brilliance sat, thinking, wondering where he could get acid. Perhaps he could cut it from his own veins. No, surely not, for the taste of blood and even ichor was salty and metallic. So he traveled to the dwelling of Root and began to speak. "Root, mother of that which would grow and flourish in soil and water, I come to you bearing gifts." He worked his magic, conjuring the tastes of dirt and nutrients. She shook, taking in those things Brilliance made for her. "Thank you, son of Luminos. I wish to speak to you about a deal." He was always quite direct. She creaked and swayed toward her visitor. "So you do. And what is the proposition, son of Luminos?" His face scrunched up. He couldn't hide his disdain for his father easily. It was not in his nature like it was for lie and half-truth. "Root, I seek one of your fruits. It would look so lovely on my mantle." Despite not being one of lies, the chef spoke what he knew, and it would look quite nice on his mantle. "And what would I get in return?" "I will cut deep into the fruit and spread its seeds over my home, beginning a garden." Root thought for a while, before reaching down a branch and allowing Brilliance to claim it as his own. He slowly made his way home, getting lost in the idea of the food he would prepare. His mouth began to salivate, and his mind was completely consumed with only thoughts of satiated hunger and beautiful food. Once he got home, he began to unpack his knives, set up his cutting board, and placed the pot upon the furnace. He gazed down at the fruit in his hand. He knew it would be the key. Then Spice came through his door, and Brilliance hurried to hug and address his friend. They placed their foreheads to one another. "Friend, are you sure?" "I would be proud to be cooked by you, greatest chef in all the universe." "Then climb atop the board." The large phoenix raised its legs and climbed atop the cutting board. "I will see you on the other side, Brilliance." He raised his cleaver high into the air and brought it down upon the neck of Spice, beginning to cook. He plucked each feather by hand, stripping the plumes of their flame and adding it to the kindling of the pot. He drained the blood of the proud bird for the broth and brought it to a sizzling boil. He began to carve up the body of the great king of flame, the drums, the wings, and the breast. He seasoned them well, using each ground down bone marrow to coat them with bone meal packed with blazing flavor. Brilliance wiped his brow as he worked, finally finishing the seasoning. He dropped each part of the god of flame into the pot, causing a satisfying sizzle. But what exactly he was creating he did not know. For each slash of his knife he carved the world from stone. Each drop of crimson blood formed the primordial oceans, bubbling and shimmering with life. Each wing bore a mountain filled with brush ready to be set aflame. Each breast a valley ready to be moved and consumed in eternal rebirth. He finally eyed the fruit lying there, untouched by the butchery. He picked it up and cut into it. The juices immediately began to bleed from it, squirting sour sustenance from its flesh. He held it over the pot and began to squeeze with all his might. The liquid gold flowed from the child of Root, adding the final component to the stew. And finally, the world sprang forth with not only brush and animal, but with great trees so large you could cut a home from them. So large you could marvel at their leaves for hours, so large they stood a testament to time itself, now too springing forth with its twin. Of course, Brilliance was exhausted after the labor of creating this dish of perfection, the world itself, so he plucked a single drumstick from the pot and bit into it. The way that spicy, savory sauce split over his lips and filled his mouth with heat put a grin upon his face. He took another bite. Not only the sauce, but the juice of his friend washed over him, coating his taste buds in infinite bliss. Savory, sweet, acidic, all working in harmony, pouring forth beautiful chaos from ugly order. As he finished his wing, he fell asleep, satisfied. Brilliance awoke, surrounded by greenery and flowing water rushing around him. He frowned at first. This was not his home. Yet soon he smiled as he realized where he found himself. He flipped onto his belly and hugged the ground just as he heard a thunderclap shout next to him. Luminos stood, looking down upon its son. "I am so ashamed. What have you done?" He turned face up, tears stinging his eyes, and a colossal smile tore his face in half. "I cooked my best friend." Luminos shook its head and turned its head away from Brilliance. "You have forfeit your soul, my own son. Forfeit his soul. For what?" He continued, smiling, knowing that a lack of a soul would only make him hungrier. Only better to gorge himself upon this dish he so lovingly crafted. "I will still live, Creator, for I have made something more lovely than anything you have." With those declarations, Luminos left back to the place for gods. In the years that followed, Brilliance wandered the world with a grin atop his face and a spark in his heart. Despite not having a soul, he never felt better in his life. So on the 4th Thursday of the 11th month, he made a pilgrimage up to the tallest peak of the world, and he looked at the sky. Then the clouds passed all the way them to the sun, and it screamed out back at him. It spoke forth a single ultimate word from his best friend. For years, chefs and cooks of all sorts in that place made the same pilgrimage to the highest peak of the world. On the 4th Thursday in November, those at the peak will listen to the sun itself, and the sun will call out to them with its will, all in a great caw. It will speak only words it wishes for its friends to hear. Thank you!
Wormhole Wonderland was created, written, and produced by Win Oates, with music by Dummis and Caleb Mazzota. Visit our website down below by Webmaster Callum, and visit our Discord. Thank you for listening to Wormhole Wonderland.